Yo, what is going on YouTube? It is Woo back here with another video. Today we are going to be talking about the time that I stole my dad's car. So a few things to note about this story before we get into it. This car that I stole was not my dad's car whatsoever. It was a company car. Like the company had issued it to him. So if anything would have happened, like I would have crashed or like anything would have happened, it probably would have cost him his job. And in the end of the story, we got caught by the cops. But that is in the end of the story. You guys will have to wait till the end to hear that. But without further ado, let's get into this story. So basically, this happened on a summer night. I'm pretty sure it was either like July. It was probably in July, I'm gonna guess. And it was nighttime. I don't know what my thought process was, but so I wanted to go do something. I was hitting up all my friends, asking what the move is, and I didn't have a car at this point. So I opted that I was gonna walk somewhere. So usually when I hit up my friends, they're close by. We all live in the same town, or like my old friend group. We all used to live in the same town, so we always used to live like walking distance, biking distance. I mean, it was pretty close. But on this day, I hit up. What are we gonna call him? We're gonna call him. We're gonna call him Tommy. So I hit up Tommy, and I was like, "What's the move, bro?" And Tommy. So Tommy, before we get more into the story, Tommy is an interesting character. Tommy, he he will do anything. That's all I gotta say. Tommy will do. You ask him to do something, or you're down to do something, he's down to do it as well. So that's all you gotta know about Tommy. So I hit up Tommy, asked what the move is. Tommy said they're all going to this girl named Vicky's house. Now, if you guys watch my last story, Vicky was my ex. At this point, we weren't dating. We haven't even like started dating at this point yet. I was still like, I don't even know. I was being dumb. But so me and Tommy opted that we wanted to go to Vicky's house. But keep in mind, Vicky's house was on the complete opposite side of town. So it wasn't a bike ride away. It wasn't a walk away. It was we had to find a ride or we're not going there. And Tommy happened to live kind of close to Vicky. So what we were going to do at first, Tommy was going to go home and he was going to tell his mom to come get me and we were going to go to Vicky's house. But his mom was not down for that. And he had already gone home at this point. My mom, so she goes to bed at like 8. She had already bring him home at this point. Our thought process was that we were gonna go over there at like 10, because this was a Friday night. I mean, like we were able to be out, but my mom she was asleep. She was not bringing me anywhere. My dad doesn't bring me anywhere. But so Tommy had already gone home at this point, and we were already like we were in the thought process that we were gonna be able to get a ride from Tommy's mom, but Tommy's mom was not down for that. So I was like, damn, like I gotta figure. Like Tommy was close to her at this point. Tommy really could just walk over. He could say fuck me, and He did say fuck me. All right, I'm not gonna lie. Tommy walked over there, and at this point, I was like, damn, bro. Like everyone was there. We're not gonna give a name for everyone, but we're gonna say Tommy was there, Vicky was there, and then one other key character. We're gonna call him Carson. Carson was there, and Carson, I was really good friends with at the time. Me and Carson were close as fuck. Like I hung out with Carson almost every day. Like Carson was that was my guy. So I was like, damn, bro. Like everyone's just there. I need to get there. Like I need to get to the function. So I opted that I was gonna go downstairs and look around for the keys. All right. Now I wasn't gonna take my dad's car at this point. I was gonna take my mom's because like I knew that it was a company car and I knew like damn like it would be fucked up if I took that. But at this point, my mom had her purse in her room. Like, not at this point. My mom kept her purse in her room, so there was no getting that. But my dad sleeps on the couch. So what I did is I walked over to the couch. He's a heavy sleeper. He had no idea I was walking up. He had no idea I took these in the first place. So they're right. So he was sleeping on this chair, and there's this ledge next to him, and he puts everything on this ledge, like phone, wallet, keys, everything. And I snatched them keys, bro. And I wasted no time. So obviously, my parents had cameras at this time, so I couldn't just walk out of the front door. I like that was not gonna fold. They would have seen. They would have had motion activation. They would have been able to see me right away. But they didn't at this time. They had a camera at the front door and they had a camera in the back because that's the main places I used to sneak out. But thank God the front door one didn't. It didn't reach to where like it didn't reach to where the cars were parked on the driveway. It just reached towards the front door where I would usually just send it out. Like I would just walk out the front door. But on this fateful day, since I was taking a car, I decided I'm gonna be more smart with it. So I have this window in one of my rooms. So I have two rooms. The room I sleep in has this window in it, and it reads directly to the roof that's above the driveway. So I was gonna go out this window. Like, that was the only way I was getting out of this house on this day, is going out this window. So I hop out of this window, and so how this roof is, it's slanted on both ways once you get out the window. So it's not like it's flat, it's slanted both ways. So I walk up the roof, and then there's like another slant that goes down. I walk down the roof as far as I can go. I remember I was so scared. I went as far as I can go down the roof, and I just jumped off. I didn't jump off. I kind of put myself down with my hands, like how you would off like monkey bars, or how you would like if you were just holding yourself down and then you fall down. That's what I did. And it wasn't that far of a drop. I made it down pretty easily. It didn't hurt or anything. And then I got in that car. Now, at first I was really sketched out to just leave. So my dumbass decides that I started the car, I put it in reverse, and I drove down the block. I didn't even leave. I drove down the block and I just parked. I waited like 5 minutes just to see if like my mom was gonna call me or my dad was gonna call me. Just like if they did, I wasn't just driving down the road. Like I could have just came home right away and just made up some bullshit excuse, or like just not have gotten more trouble. But excuse me. So I'm sitting at this like I don't even know what to call it. It's kind of like a cul-de-sac. That's what you call it. I'm sitting in this cul-de-sac, like maybe a block from my house, not even. Like literally, it's a 30-second walk, like maybe. So I'm sitting there, and I get a call, and like not like I seen the call right away. I felt the call, so my heart drops, and let alone it is Tommy. And so Tommy was wondering where I was. I had told no one that I was taking this car at this point. No one had no idea that I was taking this car. They just thought I was going to try to find a ride over. I was going to bike over and just be a dumbass. But let alone, little did they know, I was in my dad's car at this point. Now, I didn't answer Tommy because I didn't know, like, I was way overthinking the situation. I thought either Tom, like, my parents called Tommy before me and was like, just gonna ask what I was doing. Like, dude, I was so in over my head that I just didn't answer Tommy. So what I did was, after like 5 more minutes maybe waiting there, so I was there for maybe like a total of 10 minutes just waiting to see if anyone would call me. And let alone no one called me. So I start driving down the road. Now, how my neighborhood is, and like how the way to get to Vicky's house is, I have to pass the police station. There's no way around it, or else I'm adding 15 minutes to my trip, and that's more time to get caught by the cops. So what I do is I go, so how my neighborhood is, there's 3 exits, and one of them is right next to the police station, and one of them is like farther away, and you can you can go on the side of the police station and you can drive past it to where they can't see you and then go through the neighborhood and go. That is exactly what I did. So I did that. So I was just overthinking this whole situation. I did not need to do that. I was in an NPC car. They were not going to pull me over. So I go around through this neighborhood, and it was supposed to be maybe a 10-minute drive to get there. It took me like 15-20 minutes just because I was overthinking it. I was going like 45 miles per hour in a 50. Like I was just overthinking this whole situation. Probably being more suspicious, just overthinking it. But anyway, let alone I get to Vicky's house. Now, everyone was so confused at this point when I pulled up. So Carson, Tommy, and Vicky, these are the main people in the store. There was only 2 other people there. They're not really relevant, even though they were in the car. But like, I wasn't really friends with them at this point. They were just happened to be in the car. But at this point, I had gotten to Vicky's house. Now, I don't know, like, as soon as I got to Vicky's house, I'm talking, I walked in the door and I started dabbing everyone up, and I pulled up, I started saying hello to everyone. Not even 2 minutes later, like right when I pulled up, I get a call from my mom. All right. Now, my heart sunk. All right. And I didn't answer this call, obviously. And she starts calling me more times. And now my dad is calling me. So I'm flipping my shit. And they already know what's up. They already know the car's gone. They already know that I took it. And honestly, at this point, I knew I was fucked. I don't know why I didn't just answer the call, or like just answer my parents and have them come get the car, because all they wanted was the car at this point. That's what they said. They weren't even gonna pick me up. They just wanted the car. But my dumb ass decides I'm not gonna answer. Like, fuck that. I'm not answering. So, but at this point, my parents knew that I went to Vicky's house a lot. They knew that I went there almost every day. They knew that that's probably where I ended up going. And so Vicky, her dad used to leave probably, I would say, like almost every other week because he's a trucker. And at this point, he was gone. So I pull up. My mom's pissed. She's calling. My dad's pissed. They calling. And her dad's gone. So it is a fuck situation here. So I'm going to stay here and I'm just going to park the car in the back. So how her house is, she has a house and then she has like 4 different barns on her property. Like it's insane. Like her house is pretty sick. So I parked my dad's car behind one of the fucking barns as if that was going to fucking do anything. As if like anything was going to happen. Like if they weren't going to find it, like they couldn't just drive down and see it. So I park it down there and I go back to the house. And at this point, I shit you not, maybe 5-6 minutes, like fast. Like I had gone to park the car and I had walked back and I literally grabbed the drink and my parents pulled up in my fucking mom's car. I was shitting bricks at this point, dude. They pulled up. And so how this house was, no lights were on. It was a creepy old house. You couldn't tell anyone lived. Like if the lights were off, you'd think this bitch was probably abandoned, to be honest. So the lights were off. We turn all the lights off. Honestly, we're dumb. They probably seen us turn the lights off. But we turn all the lights off. We all start hiding. I'm talking me, Vicky, Tommy, Carson, and the other 2 people just start hiding. Like as if they were just going to walk into the house. So we start hiding. They start banging on the door. I can hear them screaming Matthew. And then like 2 minutes after them knocking and screaming, it just stops. They just stop. The car's still there, but they just stop. So what I found out later happened at this point is they had gone around to the barn where my dad's car was. And they had seen it, and so they knew I was there. But I didn't know that at this point. I thought they were just there. So I didn't know that I didn't know anything. So I don't know why. My dad has 2 sets of keys. At this point, he did. I don't know why he didn't just take the car. But what they ended up doing, they found the car. They stopped calling me. Like I don't know why. They just stopped calling me and they left. All right. I don't know if this was some kind of like tactic or some kind of like some fucking like I don't know, like reverse psychology, but they just left. All right. And we were all confused as fuck. We were like, why did they just leave? Like that makes no sense. Like what the fuck? And so at this point I still didn't know they saw the car. So I was like, maybe they just thought like I wasn't here. Like maybe they just thought no one was here. So after they left, I waste 0 time. Me, Tommy, Carson, and Vicky didn't come. Me, Tommy, Carson, and 1 other person got in my dad's car and we all left. I don't know why Carson and the other dude came with me and Tommy, but they did. They were just like, yeah, we're out. And so we all hop in my dad's car and we leave and we start driving straight out of town. I'm talking, we were trying to go far. Like I was not trying to be around there at all. So we start driving and I say we get about 20 minutes into this drive. We're about 2 towns over at this point. We just park up in this neighborhood. All right. Cause I was like, bro, I need to think about what just happened. I need to think about what I'm doing. Like I'm 14, stealing my dad's company car, driving it around. That is pretty dumb. So let alone we park up. And at this point, we were still smoking. Still smoking. We were smoking. I don't know why. We're dumb. Don't smoke when you're that young. But we were smoking, so we spark up. All right, in my dad's company car. Keep in mind. So, I would say about. It was like we smoked probably half of the blunt. I would say, and we see a cop. All right. Now the cop wasn't looking for us. We just seen a cop, and that fucking tripped us out. Okay. So we move spots. We probably drive maybe 2 minutes and we just park up in a different spot. And we had the lights on before. So what I did this time, and I turned the lights off and I turned the car off. So like, you know, sometimes there's smoke that comes from the tailpipe if the car's on. I did not want anyone to know that we were in there. So I turned the car completely off. So at this point, I was very scared. And so this car comes behind us, right? And I look at the car in the mirror and I was like, that car looks really familiar. Like why does that car look really familiar? And let alone the car gets closer and closer and the car parks behind us and people start getting out. I'm talking 3 people hopped out of that car. 2 people were my parents and there was another person I didn't know. They start hopping out of the car. I shit you not. I turned that car on so fast and put that bitch in drive and went. I don't know what I was thinking. I just went. All right. So at this point, I'm in like a pursuit chase with my parents. All right. And so what I found out later, this is a really bad part in the story, but what I found later is, so I was in a Life 360 with like all of my friends, right? Like I had a big friend group. Like I'm talking, we had like 30 people in our friend group at this point, and we all had a Life 360. And so what actually happened is my mom ended up calling. So this girl's in one of my other stories. Her name was Jessica. She was in my getting arrested story. She was one of my very good friends. Still, I wouldn't say still is, but we still kind of talk. But so she ended up calling Jessica. And she didn't know anything was going on like this. So when my mom asked for where my location was, she probably didn't think anything of it. So I'm not even mad at Jessica for this. But so what happened was my mom called Jessica and asked where I was, and Jessica gave her my location when we were parked up. It couldn't have been when we were driving. It couldn't have been when we were still at Victoria's. She called her when we were parked up in the two other towns over. So at this point, we're in a high speed, not a high speed. We're driving through the neighborhood getting chased by my parents in this other car. So literally 30 seconds into this chase, I realized that this is stupid. I am running in the own, like, I need to stop. So I pull over this like abandoned gas station. I would say abandoned gas station. It just wasn't open anymore. Like it had just fully shut down. The pumps were gone. Like it was an abandoned gas station. So I pull over in the abandoned gas station, and let alone they come right behind us. Like 2 seconds, they were on our ass. All right. 2 seconds later, my parents and this random person, I don't know who the fuck else was in the car. I still don't know to this day. I didn't ask. But they pull up behind us, and they get out, and they start yelling. I've never seen my dad this fucking mad before. I have, I guess, a few other times for a few other stories. But this was one of the top 5 times I've seen him this fucking pissed. All right? So me and my dad start yelling back and forth. When he started yelling, so I have a really bad anger issues, and like I used to yell, not anymore. I used to yell at my parents so much. Like if they yelled at me, I would treat it as if like a kid in school was yelling at me. Like I would just start yelling back, which is really bad. Don't ever do that. Respect your parents. But so I started yelling back, and it got very quickly to the point where he started fastly walking towards all of us. And all of the other people were still in the car, by the way. Fucking Carson, Tommy, and other dude was still in the car. So at this point, my dad starts like coming towards the car and was like, "Give me the fucking keys." Like he was pissed, all right? And I don't know what came up on me. I don't know what I was thinking, but I look at everyone and I yell, "Run." All right? We all start dipping into this neighborhood, all right? My dad and mom don't chase us, but we all start just running into this neighborhood as if we have anywhere to go. We're 2 towns over. We're all like 25 minutes from our houses. As if we have any way to get home. We all just start booking it, bro, all right? Now, this is a very dumb thing to do. Do never run when you already got caught. Like, this is very dumb to do. So we ran, and I shit you not even 2 minutes later, we start hearing sirens. Now, to this day, I don't know who called the cops. I don't know if it was my mom or my dad, but I have a very good feeling it was my dad that called the cops on us. But let alone my parents called the cops on us. Not even 2 minutes later, we start hearing sirens. Like they treated this as if we like had actually just stolen a car. Like they had treated this as if like we were some hood kids that just stole a car. So there's like 6 cop cars flying through this neighborhood looking for us. Me and Carson split up with, no, not me and Carson. Me and Tommy split up with Carson and this other dude. And so me and Tommy are just running along this fence, just trying not to get seen by these cops. And at this time, Carson and other dude were already gone. Like they had already called a ride. Like I didn't know. Okay, fuck them for this. They had already called a ride by the time my parents were there and to come pick them up. They had already called a ride. So by the time we were already running, the ride was already in this strip mall that was literally 2 minutes, like 2-minute walk. All right. They booked it to this guy's car. We had no idea. Me and Tommy were literally hiding behind stuff and just crouching and going in behind people's backyards. And these people were just chilling in a car. Like, fuck them for that. But, so me and Tommy are running from the cops. And at this point, Tommy goes, "Oh shit, bro, I don't have my phone." And I'm like, "Bro, what do you mean you don't have your phone?" He's like, "Bro, I think I left it in the car." I'm like, "Bro, no, like we're not going back." So I pull up my phone and I check the Light 360. As I said, we had everyone in Light 360. If we knew them, they were in there. So I checked Tommy's location. He's literally right. Like he dropped his phone, not even like Like, thank God he seen that. He dropped his phone so close to us that we literally ran back and got it. So we went back to go get Tommy's phone, and as soon as we grabbed Tommy's phone, 2 cop cars come down the road that we were on. They see us. We run down this backyard, and then they come down the other street. And as soon as we jumped, I'm talking, as soon as we jumped the fence, there's already a cop there with his flashlight, and he's like, "Hey, stop!" And we both just stopped, and they put us. They didn't even put us in handcuffs. They put our hands behind our back. They just held it behind the back. They put both of us in the same cop car, and then they closed the door. So at this point, I knew I wasn't getting arrested, but I didn't know I was in some pretty deep shit because obviously they're 6 deep with sirens on looking for us. Like, I already know I'm in some trouble, but he didn't put me in cuffs, so like, I'm not in that much trouble. So at this point, I'm shitting pants. I'm shitting my fucking pants, bro. And I'm pretty sure I have a picture of this, of me in the back of this cop car. If I don't, I'm sorry, but if I do, I will post it on the screen right here. I was acting like it was all sweet and I was chilling. No, I was shitting my fucking pants. I'm gonna be honest. I was shitting bricks. I just stole my parents' car, and the cops were like, this was like one of my first interactions with the cops, right? And I was shitting pants, bro. Like, we had just ran from them. But thankfully, since we were that young, they didn't really like care that we ran from. Like, I'm saying we were literally 13 and 14. I wouldn't say they didn't care, but they didn't charge us with anything. Like, they still, like, they told our parents took us home. Like, everyone's parents came to come get them after that. But let alone, after I get out of this cop car and I get in my parents' car, it is dead silent. It is no fucking words the whole ride home. I'm talking no one said a word. They didn't say a word to each other. I didn't say a word to them. They didn't say a word to me. No words. So we get home. I go upstairs in my room. They didn't even tell me to go in my room. I just already knew. I was like, I'm going to go to my room, and I'm going to go play some games. Like, I need to do something. So I go to my room. I play some games. I smoke. I do whatever. And the next day is actually when, like, they started to talk to me again, and they didn't even seem that mad about it. Like, this is the thing about my parents, bro. They will give you the silent treatment the whole night, and then the next day they'll just act as if nothing happened. Which I like that, but I don't. Like, I would have liked to talk about what happened. But, like, obviously, I think it was probably a month later, I kind of asked them. I was like, hey, like what happened? And, like, you know, what happened? Like, I kind of asked them, and that's how I got some of these details. But, yeah, let alone, more of the story, do not steal your parents' car, especially if it is a company car, and do not run from them. Like, that is really stupid, especially when you're that young. They will call the cops because nothing can really happen to you if they don't say, like, anything. They can just say, go find my kid, and they will find the kid and just bring you back. But, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this story. It has been Woo. I hope you guys have a good day, evening, night, whatever it is for you guys right now. It has been Woo, and I'm out.